I've always been interested in real-world problems. When I ran into my first computer, I thought, wow. I'd seen factories and things. Those machines, they had no ability to change. They had no ability, in short, to think. That was the missing element. I had to write a couple of programs, and I could see the possibilities. You could do anything with a computer. I was convinced that computers would really change the world. If you have time for a story, I'll tell you why.
"60 years ago, an IBM salesman by the name of Blair Smith was on an airplane with the president of American Airlines, whose name was C.R. Smith. And they said, hey, we got the same last names, and they got to talking. IBM was using some technology in the defense area, and could that technology be applied to solve this problem that the airlines had of making reliable reservations? At the time, it was a manual process. They had a set of cards and kind of a lazy Susan, and they would spin it around and pull it out and mark your seat number on it and put it back on. It was a complex problem that no one could solve. IBM put together a research proposal to work with American Airlines to try to apply their technology, and ultimately they created Sabre.
The Sabre system provides for prompt, accurate service to the customer by making the sales agent self-sufficient, independent of any other agent, in obtaining all the information she needs to satisfy the customer's desires in the coming jet age.
The airline business was growing rapidly. Extreme design measures had to be taken. We had to have capacity and performance. We had to be very responsive to all the reservations that were coming in and turn around the transactions in a matter of seconds. The airline could not make a reservation if that computer went down. And if it had to crash, it could immediately come back to life very quickly, in a matter of seconds. To demonstrate this, I would bring in some people and I'd go up to the console and I would say, now I'm going to make the system crash. I'm going to write zeros down in the low area of main memory. And I'd sit there and I'd go, all right, and I'd put in zeros. And I couldn't get it to crash. This is humorous to them because the competitor had a system which would crash when they didn't want it to crash. I couldn't make ours crash. The airline industry that we know today could not function without a system of this nature. When you type in, I want to fly from A to B, and it asks you your name, that software was originally written by me in 1965. Amtrak uses it today. Chicago Board of Options Exchange, the 911 system in New York.
You can't beat this old dog that was designed 50 years ago, even with all the modern tools that we have today. When it was launched, the thought was that it would be able to handle 84,000 phone calls a day. It has since been taken out to tens of thousands of travel agents. It's the front end for Expedia, Travelocity, and others, and does probably about 30,000 transactions a second. The problem that they identified then, that they solved in the subsequent years, was so resilient and creative that 60 years later, we can't do any better.